What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another movie review. I'm Chase Lee, reviewing for DallasMovieScreenings.com, and the movie I want to take a look at right now is Bad Boys for Life. Now, this one comes from Sony Pictures. It is directed by a couple gentlemen that go by Adil El Arbi and Bilal Fallah. I hope I pronounced that correctly, and if I didn't, please let me know down below, because I would like to get these gentlemen's names right in the future if they direct another film, because these guys have a future after this film. Whoops, did I just spoil my thoughts about this film? Well, the plot goes as follows. There's some bad guys kind of hunting Mike down, played by Will Smith, and he tracks him down. I mean, it's pretty much, most of these movies, someone's hunting them down, or they're hunting down someone in their family, and they gotta go solve it because they're detectives. That's what they do, and they do it in a very bombastic and loud way. But yeah, I don't really want to spoil much in case you want to go into this thing blind, because there was a couple things in this story that caught me off guard and were wonderful surprises to behold as you were watching it in real time. And so that's all I'll say about the plot. I know, pretty generic. What are you going to do? So going into this, I was looking forward to it for a couple of reasons. One, we haven't really had a good movie this month so far, and so I was like, what is going to be the first good January movie and the first great movie of 2020? It seems like Bad Boys for Life is heading in that direction. And of course, the second thing, I love the previous two installments. So the third one, I was just like, listen, I just want an entertaining movie, see in theaters with the crowd, enjoy it with everybody, and just leave happy. And as I spoiled earlier, I am looking forward to what these directors do next, because I do like this movie quite a bit. There's a lot of things working for it, a lot of surprises, unexpected things, and some mishaps, but they're very minuscule when it comes to the overall picture. Let's just get some of the negatives out of the way. I think the comedy in this film does fall flat most of the time, more than I would like to admit. There were things that were, you got to chuckle out of me. There were things that made me smile, but I only busted out laughing maybe twice throughout the entire thing. And to be quite frank with you, this movie doesn't really rely on its comedy too much, which is interesting, because that's what this whole franchise was built on, was the comedy and the action. They go kind of in a different route with this movie, and I'll get to my explanation here in just a second. But when the comedy does, present itself, it does fall flat. It feels like the actors are trying too hard to deliver the line accurately, rather than just playing it organically or naturally, and it just, maybe, I don't know, just rolls off the tongue a little bit better. It just feels like they're reading that script to get that hard laugh, because they know it's funny, but when you read it that way, it just sounds so robotic and so manufactured. It doesn't come across as a natural joke or something that rolls off the tongue, just more of something that's on the page and you're just reciting it. The second thing, there's some things that defy logic. When you get to certain points in the action, you're like, the physicality of that probably shouldn't happen that way. Or at the end of the movie, when I said, how did they make it out alive? What? It's a Bad Boys movie. What do you want? I mean, it's not going to be perfect. But I think for what Michael Bay set up in the first two, I think carrying over that kind of, loud, bombastic action that this franchise is known for. This one doesn't have as many big set pieces, but it still kind of, carries that, style and energy to it. And yeah, some things are kind of ridiculous, but it's all in the nature of this film, in this franchise, so I will excuse it. But there are a couple things that make you go, man, even for a Bad Boys movie, I don't know about that. So, okay, to get to some of the positives. So, I know a lot of people are going to make fun of the fact that there's 3 screenwriters on this movie. Yeah, it is a little ridiculous for a Bad Boys movie. But what I appreciate about this movie is, since this is the third film in this franchise, these characters are older. They are reaching the end of the road. They're reaching the end of their careers, and they want to settle down. They want to retire. They want to get out of the game. Or at least Marcus does, Martin Lawrence's character. And, Will Smith's character he's got that urge to just keep working and working and working and working, because that's what he likes to do. And so we're getting to that point in these characters' lives where they're getting a little older now. They're not in their youthful days, and so This is more of like a reflective installment. It's really somber in some scenes, really tackling just the precious moments that we have in life and how they can be taken away from us just like that, and really kind of playing with time as a concept when the older you get in this profession and everything, and just what's important in life type of deal. It's just, I don't know. It was weird, and what I'm describing, you're like, really? That's in a Bad Boys film? You like that? Listen, I those scenes that were actually like scaled back a little bit, we got to know a little bit more of the characters and just their mindsets and the reflection of their wisdom. That stuff was interesting to me, and I'm actually glad they went down that route. You want to know why? It makes us care about the characters more. With action films, we have sometimes basic plots. We have revenge or something happened to my family, let's go get them. And they're like, you have like basic kind of like simple emotional like threading throughout your action films. Sometimes you'll care for the characters, sometimes you won't, but most people will go to these movies for the action set pieces and just how cool it looks. It is nice when films can take a step up and apply that extra emotional heft to it. Make us care about the characters and their mission and just what they want to do in the movie. What I didn't expect is the acting to be so dang good in this film. Really capturing these quieter scenes and really making us feel for them. I mean, there's a lot at stake in this movie. I think the villains are super threatening, and that shows on their faces. They're like, I don't know if we can compete with this. We've been out of the game for so long. It's just like, I don't know if I can go through with that. I got grandkids now, or I got, other stuff to worry about. I don't know. It was just those scenes when they confronted each other, confronted, maybe someone else in the room. There was a lot of pain on their face and a lot of struggle and a lot of just passion at the same time. I don't know. I just thought the acting in this one was way more elevated than you would think it would be. And they didn't have to go there. They honestly didn't. But I'm so glad that these directors decided to pull these performances out of them to make us care about their journey just a little bit more. Because this might be the last time we see them on screen together for a Bad Boys film. We might get another one, who knows. But if this is the last one, they really went out with a bang and just pulled it out. I think the best performances they've ever done with these characters. So, sorry. So I found that quite interesting that they went down that route and had a little bit more kind of a scale back to it than the other two installments. It's cool. It makes it different. Speaking of the directors pulling out good performances, these guys are stylish as hell, and they don't emulate Michael Bay. They have a couple of shot compositions with the Dutch angle low. They get the Michael Bay kind of flavor, but other than that, this movie is all their own. Some of the action sequences are actually really cool. They will leave it on some choreography for a while and not cut, and we get to see how brutal and intense it can be and how chaotic it can be. These guys have a vision, and I was looking at their IMDb. This is like their first big one, big movie here. Please give these guys more work. They have proved themselves with this movie, carrying the same kind of chaotic, like harnessed chaos that Michael Bay has, but making it all their own and making it stand out above the rest while still being a Bad Boys film. So yeah, give these guys another gig here, please. I already mentioned Will Smith and Martin Lawrence being good performance-wise, and they are, and their chemistry bounces back and forth pretty naturally. They slip back into this role, or these roles with ease, so those are no issue. The supporting cast is actually really good too. The lieutenant that he has the hots for, she's great. The captain, always great. The newer people, I thought they would get annoying, like Vanessa Hudgens and stuff, but they serve the plot. They actually are really well written, and they did not annoy me. So there you go. And that's about it. Yeah, it's 2 hours. It kind of runs by. It's shorter. the second one, that's for sure. The second one was like 2.5 hours long, but 2 hours is the right length. If you would have gone any longer, I think you would have overstayed its welcome, but this is the type of movie that does fire on all cylinders, pun intended, but knows when to have some really great just character moments. This is why we go see these movies, because we like them too. The music is fine. It's whatever. It's shot well. It's got that glossy, sweaty sheen of what Miami is, according to these movies. It's just, it looks really rich and kempt, or well kempt or whatever. And then it just also looks like it's just everyone's just sweaty. So it does have that kind of Miami atmosphere. So it is what it is. But guys, I enjoyed this movie. Like I said, I don't want to speak on it anymore because there are some things that caught me off guard. I was like, okay, they went there. That's kind of cool. So I'm going to give Bad Boys for Life a solid B. What did you guys think of the movie? What did you guys think of the franchise as a whole? Am I crazy? Am I psychotic? Let me know down below if you hated this movie or if you even loved it more than me. I would love to know your thoughts down below. That will do it for this review, guys. I'm Chase Lee, reviewing for DallasMovieScreenings.com, and tune in next time for whatever I review next. I will see you guys later.